Peace, peace. Time to this one. And I just want to go over this old story. Well, it's not an old story, but it happened, I believe, in 2015. And I think he just recently got. I think he just recently got sentenced. The officer in Louisiana shooting of a 6-year-old Derek Stanford, 30, which he was 33 years old. He got 40 years. He got 40 years for manslaughter and 15 years for attempted manslaughter. So I'm gonna read a little bit through it. It's a very short article. So bear with me. Hopefully I won't have no computer issues. Um, yeah, let's do this. Alright, so this is from the NBC News. It says Louisiana officer is sentenced to 40 years in shooting death of 6-year-old. It's a Louisiana law enforcement officer found guilty of manslaughter in the fatal shooting of a 6-year-old boy with autism has been sentenced to 40 years in prison. Derek Stanford, 33, was sentenced to 40 years without parole. 40 years without parole for manslaughter in the death of Jeremy Meredith and 15 years for attempted murder of Christopher Few. That was his father. Now check this out. You know what? I'm gonna read. Let me read it first, and then I'll put my comments in, because this immediately make you pissed off. All right. So it said the sentence run concurrently. So that means that while he be doing a 40-year sentence, the 15-year sentence will be running as well with the 40-year sentence. So it says Stanford and another deputy county marshal attempted to pull over in Marksville, Louisiana in 2015 and engaged in a 2-mile car chase. So that's eluding already. Okay, that's a crime. He eluded. It be said before opening fire. Few said Few said his hand, he struck his hand out the window in a sign of surrender. But the bullets continued to tear through his vehicle, according to NBC News affiliate WBSU News 6. Few was wounded. Jeremy was shot 5 times in the head, chest, and killing him. Norris Greenhouse Jr., 25, the officer with Stanford at the time, is also facing second-degree murder charges. So he's facing second-degree murder charges. He got hit with. Hold up. Let me read it. So it says Greenhouse trial will take place later this year. Stanford and Greenhouse, who were moonlighting as deputy city marshals on the night of the shooting, were also with 2 additional officers at the time of the shooting. Those law enforcement officers did not open fire on Few car that night. So I'm gonna read. So it says Derek Stanford, one of the 2 deputies charged with second-degree murder in the death of Jeremy Meredith. It says 6-year-old autistic boy. So it says during an emotional trial, Stanford, when he saw the photograph of the child, said he wouldn't have opened fire knowing the boy was in the car. It say never in a million years would I have opened fire, or I would have fired my weapon if I knew a child was in that car. I would have called off the pursuit myself. Stanford said. Stanford said his reasons for opening fire was that he feared Few would reverse and run over Greenhouse. They say, but prosecutors said that the officers were in safe distance from the car and weren't in any danger. So, alright, so now I want to do a little compare and contrast to this. Alright, so y'all do know the Anaya Stanley case in which the 7-year-old girl was killed by the SWAT team, and the SWAT team was actually at the wrong house. So let me see something. So I mean, y'all look that up. The young lady name is Anaya Stanley Lewis, and she was killed, I believe, a couple years back. I believe that the case was back in 2013, and she was killed by a SWAT team that actually was doing a raid for a murder suspect and came into the wrong house. When they came into the wrong house, they threw a flash grenade, and apparently the officer firearm or his rifle discharged, and the result shooting the young girl in the head. All right, so now look, I'm gonna show you this real quick. All right, so This is from his case, Derek Stanford. And I just want to show you how these people come together for this. And I'm actually, hopefully, Advise TV won't flag. I just want to use a little bit of his content, and hopefully won't flag me. But this is, let me just show it to you.
Running high outside the courthouse moments after a judge sentenced Derek Stafford to 40 years in prison.
They get 40 years.
Prosecuting him, and all you that has hatred in your heart, I hope you die, and when you die, you go to hell.
Bertha Andrews, Stafford's aunt, refused to hold back after learning her nephew's state, calling the sentence a modern-day form of slavery.
Because a black man ain't had no right to kill no white man. It ain't changed. Y'all call it what you want. From day one, they try to make this
Look, it is a race issue. See, white people always play the law. They always play the law card. They know it's always about race because the system is dealing with race. And I'm gonna let you know how racist these people still are. The system still is very racist. It never will stop as long as these people is on top, and this is the way it is. And this is the way they when one of their cops kill one of ours, we could barely get the cop in court. You understand? Cop put a sleeper hold on a man, chokes him out over a damn cigarette in which the cigarette was already taxed when he bought the cigarette. So I don't know what law allows you to go around and fucking harass people for selling loose cigarettes. But this is the psycho shit that we go through, and they always make an excuse. The law, you wasn't supposed to use the chokehold, it was illegal, but somehow they found the way not to indict him. Okay, let's keep it going.
Not about race, but rather the facts.
When somebody is shot at 14 times, a total of 18
He should have pulled over, you fucking Trella.
She says finally, justice is served, and 6-year-old Jeremy Martis can finally rest after being shot to death on...
Look, man, this is his father's fault. They should have gave his father time, because his father shouldn't have... Well, I hope he got the time for the looting. His father should have never fucking pulled off. You got your child in the car. Why would you put your child in danger over a high-speed chase? Why would you put your child in danger? These are the questions that must be asked. Now, for them to open fire on a car and hit the person, they didn't even hit the driver. I mean, well, they hit him one time. They didn't even hit the driver, but they shot the young boy, I guess, 4 or 5 times. They didn't even know he was in the car. So how could you charge? And this is how most of these cases go. When the police seem like they didn't have no knowledge of what was going on, normally time they get off. So you can't say that. How you gonna charge them with 2nd-degree murder when they wasn't intended? But their intention wasn't even to kill this boy because they didn't even know the boy was in the car. But let's go on.
November 3rd, 2015, during a traffic stop with his father at the wheel. Stafford testified that had he known a child was in the vehicle, he would have never opened fire.
40 was what Judge Bennett gave, and we finally feel today that Jeremy got his justice.
So that was justice. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Them white women is more devilish than the white men. They more devilish than the white men, bro. She said that shit with hate. She felt like this man deserved 40 years and he was doing his job. They treating him like a damn criminal in which he, in which he's an officer. And this is how they do. No matter if we work for them, they treat you like this, or if you're on the other side. If you don't work for them, they treat you like this. And if you work for them and you kill somebody, they still treat you like this. So, oh man,
got 3 years for the manslaughter count and another 15 for attempted manslaughter. Judge ruling he will serve them concurrently, meaning at the same time. However, he is expected to serve a mandatory 20 years behind bars. Lead prosecutor John Sinkfield calls it more than fair.
Look. Another devil. Look. Now, why in the case of Tamir Rice it wasn't none of these prosecutors out? But that's what I'm trying to say. They always play dumb because you got the same people who prosecuting you are the same people who work with the cops. So if they want to get the cops, they can get them. If they don't want to get them, they don't have to get them. And this is what you see in this case right here.
Not pleased with the outcome, say they will have to stay positive, saying their client will one day go free.
He won't spend the rest of his life in jail. So
we know he ain't. Because he got 20 years. He got served 20 years.
Let me tell you, you are a bunch of lying photographers and news people, because you never came out here and told exactly what happened in that courtroom. When everything was refuted by the defense against the state, y'all never reported. Y'all only reported the bad things because it's like you had did. But I want to say to the people of Marshville, and anyway, I said Derek Stafford worked. When he was a policeman, and he helped you, and he helped save your life, he gave CPR, he tried to save a dead, dying man in a garbage truck from dying from a garbage truck just the day before. Where were you? You policemen that was supposed to be his friend. One day it may happen to you because you see now that the government doesn't care anything about you. They use you as long as they can use you, and once they don't need you anymore, they're going to turn and look at you. And Judge Bennett sit on that bench, and he listened to it, and Judge Bennett overruled on stuff that he shouldn't have overruled on, and then he gave the state leeway because it's always been said that they go for the high, and that's what y'all did. Y'all took a little
they gave that man the mandatory sentence, 40
you wanted to do things according to you because a black man ain't had no right to kill no white man. It ain't changed. Y'all can call it what you want. You can say what you want. I want to hear in slavery time, but it's a form of slavery that y'all still passing on because a black man can't get a good job. If it had been two white men that killed that little baby, it'd have been justifiable homicide. If it had been a black baby, it would have been justifiable homicide. And all of you that prosecuted him, and all of you that has this hatred in your heart, I hope you die. When you die, you go to hell.
Wow, she met that shit too. She met that shit. Now, all right, now I'm gonna check you. I'm gonna show you now. Y'all look up the Naya Stanley Lewis case or whatever. Some of y'all should be already familiar with it. But I'm gonna show you her grandmother testimony in courtroom for the SWAT. Just take a look at the way the SWAT team look. Yo, look at he's so cold. Just take a look at it. We're gonna play a clip of it. And I'm warning y'all, this shit is very emotional. You know, I actually shot this video twice yesterday, and for some reason it wouldn't go through. But yeah, I had to sit here and watch this, and it's very emotional. So, you know, please bear with the video, y'all.
More cops came rushing the house. And I'm laying there screaming, asking somebody to help my granddaughter. Because he just shot her in the head. And he wouldn't help. They turned on the light and she had been shot. Killed out the house. Oh, my God. Oh,
Oh yeah, and by the way, in the case, right, the officer said the grandmother touched the gun. That's the reason why she was shot in the head or whatever. But yeah, I mean, definitely. Let me just play some more of this.
She was only 7 years old. She was a baby, man. She was sleeping, and I told y'all, let me get my granddaughter. And y'all didn't even give me a chance. Why y'all do this to me?
Look at his face. Look at his face. Look, he know he wrong.
I'm sick. Hell. I'm sick. I get no sleep. I get no sleep. I wouldn't wish my
Look at the grin on her face. Look, like she's smiling. What are you smiling for? That shit is not funny. Now y'all saying that, right? So watch what happens. Look. So what happens is, what happened in the case was this. The case was tried twice, right? In the first 2 cases, there was a mistrial or whatever, right? Which they always do, because they plant these juries to where they're going to sway either with them. They all agree that this man should be innocent. They're going to sway with him. If you have some members on the jury that agree that this man should go to jail, then you're going to have one of them step up and then cause a mistrial. And this is what they do. This shit is obvious, and these devils will sit there and lie, and yo, the whole system is rigged. And then what you want to see right now is that after the second trial, they could have trialed him again, but in result, watch what happened.
Dismiss this case and cancel the bond.
All right, y'all. Look, it's a melanated judge too. A melanated judge with the spirit of a European.
Hung juries, Officer Joseph Weekly walked into court for the final chapter of this case.
Look at his face.
Decided that they could not be.
No, he wrong. No, he wrong.
That they could not be.
Because y'all cooked the book, because you put these plants in there. And this is what I'm trying to say, man. You think because you see black people who work for the system is going to get to them before their emotions for their people would. Because most of these people go into these careers with the fucking, they go into these careers, some of them go in there trying to help people. Most of them go in there with the hope to be successful. And oh, my daughter's a judge. She's very successful, not knowing she's doing shit like this, though.
Today, that charge was dropped. The trial will not take place. The case officially dismissed.
Why would you drop a charge if somebody's life being taken from her? Now, look at the beautiful little princess. Now look, in this matter right here, right, what's the difference? The police came into her house illegally. And you telling me the police came in the house illegally, discharged the fucking weapon, and you telling me that they could not charge that fucking whatever, that fucking racist bastard with endangerment, or I forgot the charges in which they were trying to charge him. Negligence homicide. That's how they supposed to charge him. He's supposed to be a professional. He's not supposed to be making mistakes in which he's causing people their lives. He's not supposed to be making mistakes like this. So, but because you made a mistake, you need to be charged for it. Just like if I make a mistake and break the law, whether I know the law or whether I don't know the law, they're going to tell me ignorance of the law is no excuse. So if your firearm discharged and you was the one brandishing it, or you was the one holding the firearm, then you are responsible for it. Let's go on.
So if someone needs a scapegoat,
they should blame her
for what's happening here today.
Look.
And what's happening here is justice.
Looking bitch, look like man too.
What's happening here?
And that's exactly what Ron Scott, the family rep.
Look, they want to now.
Ron Scott, the family rep.
The reason why she said put it on them, because she know ain't nothing gonna happen to her. She know ain't nothing gonna happen to her, and that's the fucked up thing. And I'm not. Listen, I am not advocating nothing. I'm just saying, just like for her to make that comment, put it on her. Well, what's gonna happen? You can't file paperwork against judges. Judges got exempt and immunity from everything, but they could send this to the bar association, and also it's a couple of things they can do with this. They can protest it. They can send it to the bar. To the bar, what's the name? And they can, some things can be done.
Can she wake up every morning and say that you dropped the charge that would have rendered justice for a little girl that can't have justice now?
He's referring to that felony manslaughter charge that Hathaway dropped in trial number 2.
We're talking about factual information that she did not allow the jury to adjudicate in the second trial. Negligent homicide. In any other trial.
And see, that's the thing. The judge is not supposed to be partial to the matter, because the judge don't have nothing to do with it. But the judge is partial to the matter because someone made her, you better not convict this officer. And this is the reason why you get a mistrial. What kind of, see, and this is the thing. What jury will be on there and say, oh, the evidence was not enough evidence? What evidence do you need? They went in her house illegally. He was brandishing a weapon. He shot the lady he shot the little girl in the head. We're talking about the mother, the grandmother did it, and try to blame it on her. And then, Yo, it's just so
that would have
fucked
been the
up,
case.
bro.
But the judge reminded the court it wasn't just one child who lost their life, but two. When 17-year-old Jerian Blake was gunned down and killed the day before the police raid.
Now, okay. I mean, love and light and rest in peace to the young brother who got murdered. And result, they was looking for the murder suspect or whatever who did it. But you cannot say both of them are not really, they related, but they're not related. Okay? In result to this, the man who murdered the young boy didn't murder the girl. The officer who was looking for the man murdered the girl. And that's just another excuse. That's just a way for you to not to, like, you know what I'm saying, to forget or to have sympathy. And, you know, that's just mind games. That's all mind games. These people are trained professionals at this shit.
To become adults.
She knew she was wrong.
Look.
That's what she said.
Okay. Okay.
She knew she was wrong.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I didn't mean to put this flip in there. But, yeah, man. I mean, it's sad, man. You see what takes place, man. You see how the officer was found innocent or whatever. They was never going to convict him. That's the reason why you see these mistrials. When you see these mistrials, don't think that they're done on purpose. All they got to do, they plant these certain witnesses in there, man. They plant them in there. They plant these certain witnesses in there, and that's the way I think it is. Because when all these mistrials, it's like, all right, Bill Cosby case. The case was just straightforward to where, you know what I'm saying? I mean, even though 11 and one person chose to convict him, he still got a mistrial. And he really was acquitted because you had 11 people more. It was more favored than that one person who wanted to convict. And that's why I said they always plant one of them jurors in there to where they always mess one of these cases up. There's nowhere in the world this case should have had 2 mistrials. You know what I'm saying? Considering that this man they went in the house illegally, threw a flash grenade, and shot the girl in the head, and then seen the girl on the floor and still wouldn't even do nothing. So, like, how did this man not get a day in jail, but this man got the maximum sentence for somebody eluding? He pulled off in a vehicle, took him on a 2-mile race. Okay, let's say if he was wrong for killing him and was wrong for even shooting in the car or whatever. Most of the time when we see stuff like this, the police nothing happened to the police. Peter Liang, he went into somebody else's neighborhood where his fucking yellow ass is not from. Shot somebody mistakenly or whatever. He shouldn't even have his firearm out. But these cops always find a way and didn't even call the ambulance. He called the damn they trying to save his job. And this is all these people worried about. These immigrants come here, they become cops, they follow out the same thing that the white supremacy who trained them will do. So don't think, oh, he's not a white cop, so he's not racist. And that's the thing. We are fools. We don't know that it's a United States citizen thing. And people who come here to be these employees of the United States, any of them at any time can be a racist, and they can all be a white supremacy.